everyone. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Before we start, I'd like to tell you a little story. When I was back in college, my music education professor made us do a unit, prepare a unit for a concert band about to give a concert. And we had to do two formats. One was a 6-week unit, and one was an 8-week unit. And the idea is that you'd have 30 to 40 class periods to get ready for the concert. You could have, you teach new notes and new rhythms and have evaluations, informal and formal, and things of that sort. We've had 8 rehearsals to get this ready. In fact, some of these students haven't even had 8 because of quarantine and things like that. Some of these students are in both bands just to cover some of those instrument difficulties that we've had putting this thing together. And what I'm trying to say is, these students have taken on so much more individual responsibility than we normally have in class, and I'm so proud of them. What we're going to do today doesn't have that 30 to 40 class period type of shine and polish that we normally have, but I think today represents more than that. I think it represents determination, follow through, managing all the expectations during this time, and I'm so proud of what we're about to do. And I thank you for your support in making this happen. Without any further ado, I'd like to welcome, under the direction of my colleague and friend, Mr. Chris Becker, the Concert Band Club Monday Band.
Thank you all so very much. It's really a great opportunity to be performing for you today. We all miss this very much. Getting in front of this live group once a week was truly one of the highlights of the week for both Mr. Arata and myself. We commented on that a number of times. And I know for the students as well, the actual process of meeting in person and that socialization that takes place in those environments were so important to keeping things rolling, just keeping them happy. We're going to start today's program with this piece that is really, you have to know a little bit about how it's arranged, called Digital Prisons. The publishers went to work with their composers, with the people that normally wrote music for these publishers, and asked them to rewrite the music, or write new music that was divided down just into 5 parts. And each part would be transposed or rewritten for the various instruments in the band. So instead of having like a first flute part and a second flute part, a first clarinet part and a second clarinet part, and so on and so forth down the line, you would have a part 1 that might be assigned to the flutes and part of the clarinet section, and a part 2 that might be assigned to, say, some of the trumpets and some of the alto saxes, and so on and so forth. So it was a very different experience just dividing up the band into these groups, into these 5 groups that were equally balanced. And it took a bit of adjustment on the part of the students, because sometimes in those parts they were grouped with instruments that they normally would not play along with. So it takes on a different kind of sound, and it took a little bit of adjustment, but I believe that the students have really made great strides in hearing how these parts fit together. I think you'll enjoy Digital Prisons.
still the band director at Wash U. But 3 years ago, we had extracurricular coaching stipend, and he was so gracious to rearrange his university schedule. But up until now, he's entirely fulfilled that coaching responsibility in instruction, in summers, during class, and after school. And when we came up with this alternative program, Mr. Becker said, yes, we need this so badly, and wanted to provide that for the students because I needed another teacher to help supervise split times for all of the accommodations that we have to make for presenting the program during this climate. And so I have to say, it's not very often that a head coach gets to bring on an assistant who has such experience, who is a master teacher, and who can be a mentor to the staff. So we're very gracious. And because he was able to rearrange his schedule for all the follow-through, I'm thrilled to have him on the podium. All right, this next one is a challenging selection. This Monday band contains juniors and seniors. So even though we only had 8 practices, I still wanted to give them an appropriate level of difficulty and challenge. For those of you who have a music background, this includes several sections in 7/8 time, which is especially difficult for rhythm and counting and things like that. And we have enjoyed putting together moving at the speed of sound. second here and thank all of you who were able to chip in for the supplies for this project. As you can see, we have to have the protective equipment, this special band mask that covers the face but has a place for playing. Of course, the ends, the bell covers covering the end of the instrument to protect. And like Mr. Becker said, this special music that is scored for various types of instrument combinations, especially challenging. Thank you for financially making that possible, and thank you to all of you for your continued support in making today's event possible overall. This next selection is by a movie score composer by the name of Bruce Boughton. And Mr. Boughton has stolen traditional harmonies from early jazz, notably George Gershwin or someone of that flavor. And I hope you enjoy Taking It Easy by Bruce Boughton.
Thank
This, this pandemic has been difficult in so many ways, but for school teams, for bands, for sports, for all the other elements that happen in school that provide the normal experience, some of that has been taken away. But these students have managed the protocols so well, zero contact tracing during this whole process. Thank you. And put in the extra effort, taken on the extra responsibility. And as we move into second semester, these students will, they're already in practice mode, and they're going to be a very important part of the next chapter in the Eureka High School band program. But it's not just the band program. This is not just a one and done type of activity that you're looking at today. These types of opportunities are happening in classrooms all around the school. And so students, parents, I just want to encourage you, when a teacher presents something like this, continue to take advantage of it. Grab it with both hands and get everything out of it that you can. It's not 100% of what it will normally be, but it's better than 0% by a lot. And so I really want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing by plugging in and getting the most out of opportunities. And to wrap things up, I'd like to invite Mr. Becker back to the podium for one more slide.
I'd like to echo what Mr. Arata just said. First of all, thank you all for being here. We look forward to seeing you again in the near future. We don't have to wait too long before we're able to do this again. The last piece we're going to play is a Spanish march. It's really a Paul Regalé, which means double time. And it was used initially as a military march, but it became closely, the Paul Regalé is very popular in that culture, and it's often used in conjunction with bullfights. It introduces the matador. And this piece is very typical of that type of a march or a festive piece. Eureka was actually the name of one of Jaime Taylor's students. So he named the piece of music after one of his students. It's a delightful piece. Here's Eureka.
the first event here, come over where everything goes. Thank you once again for being with us today. It's been such a pleasure. I hope we get a chance to do it bigger and better, and again, very, very soon.